Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Heidi.
It's good to see more of you.
It's good to feel more of me.
Well, it's been a really honor to be in your journey of being more real, more authentic, more naked.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And it's been a few years of traveling together, doing groups, working one-on-one, and watching you go from a place of really feeling that life was against you to recognize that you're really in the flow and to know that you were the one that needed to be clear about that.
Exactly. Living in fear instead of living in freedom, frankly.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, yeah. So would you like to talk about what it was that drew you to the conscious community that we created in many of our classes that we've done together?
Yeah, I started out as a Lutheran and was not harmed by that, but started studying other material and consciousness teachings and found unity, and then started listening to you. I came to one of your prosperity classes, and then as soon as I had that first class, I realized that it was absolutely possible that I might not have to do work that was not mine to do, that gave me headaches, that made me nervous all the time. I didn't maybe have to be afraid that I'd lose my job and not have enough money to feed my children as a single mom. And that day I knew that I wanted to get in counseling with you too. Just kind of develop that relationship and explore how does that work. And through the course of our 5 years together, I've done a number of different consciousness classes of different types, but we've always worked together through it all. I have been able to do what I rationally knew was possible. I mean, I really believed that the world was good and that I was good, but all of my experience and all of the way I've practiced life has been based on fear. That I wouldn't have enough, that I wouldn't be good enough, that I had to have a big, strong, older person in the picture, and that I couldn't trust myself. So our work together I remember that one of those early times when you had me write down that I deserve to be happy. And I don't know if you remember, I still have that piece of paper in my purse. It's in shreds. And I'll take it on the trip with me that I'm going on. But it was really hard for me to say that I deserve to be happy. And now I've left a job I hated. I'm leaving now a second livelihood that was great and that I manifested because I took your advice. Not just your advice, but I kind of imbibed the spirit that you were imparting. And so now I'm really going back to what I loved as a child, writing and riding horses and writing about it. That was what I wanted to do when I was 8. And I just walked away from it all for how many years? 40-some years. And because you didn't believe that it was possible. And this is the power of community, the power of a group, the power of recognizing that you're not alone in this struggle. And you're certainly not alone in the desire to live the life you were born to live. And I know today, after watching you go from a position that you'd put, nothing was wrong with that job, it just wasn't correct for you. Correct.
And then as you moved into another world of writing, but still not as creatively as you were born to write. And so there was that sense of the frustration of, I just know there's something more true for me, a place where I get to live in more authenticity, more nakedness. And so that horses have always been your thing. I mean, since you were little, you said my first manifestation was a horse. How did that happen?
That's right.
Just because it was that pure knowingness of you as a child. As a child, we're clear. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a ballerina. We don't have any, but I can't do that. So you, in your clarity of horses as a young person, it came to you easily. And then somehow as we grow up, it's not, a grown up, it's not a maturity place at all. It's being stuck in the ways that life can't work and forgetting the love that is our true nature. And so that's why people are, getting headaches and worried and in lack, and because it's just we've become to live the lie rather than what we'll call in the naked eye, the I. Right. And so today you're embracing that, and again, you don't know what the future is going to hold.
Right.
but I'd say it's more of a lifestyle today, that being true to yourself is at the top of your list of your priorities in your life.
Right, and if I may guess at what I think the core thing that I learned from you was, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but
like I would know.
what I think I learned was that what that thing within me that gives me joy, that makes me feel alive, that relationship with horses and trying to express it to other people, and nature, and telling people stories too, that desire is okay. Even if the world would say, you're never going to make money writing about that stuff, people write, you can't make money being right, blah. It doesn't matter what the world says about that. And I think that you said to me one time, and I'm paraphrasing, that that's a gift from God, and that is my God nature, to express that is in me to do. And so I can trust that.
It's really your sole purpose. And if our sole purpose was only to make money, then obviously anybody that's made money would be happy. Right. And since we know that's not the case, because green paper can't give you a hug or talk to you. Mm-hmm. So we know that making money is fine, but it must be a byproduct of your sole purpose. Mm-hmm. So tomorrow, or day after tomorrow, right, you're taking off for a month-long
90 days.
A 90-day journey. Yes. That is something that you've wanted to do. How long?
Well, in junior high, I wrote stories about riding cross-country on horseback with a dear friend. We wrote stories together. I kind of figured she and I would go together. But, and I did manifest that trip when I was 24 with my former husband, and we rode 3,000 miles. And that was a wonderful adventure. The trip I really have wanted to take, and that I said I would take when I turned 50, and now I'm 54, so it's high time, but fullness of time.
Well, since you look like you're 24, I guess that probably is, helpful.
Oh, but, the trip I wanted to take was to just explore, be with this horse, be with all these people that I'm going to be meeting along the way, write about the experience, take my time, and just be in the world.
And Lisa.
Yeah,
Lisa.
I can't even, I'm still working on it.
Well, sure, because it seems so easy to be ourselves. I mean, it seems like that's not enough. Somehow we've got to be more than being ourselves just isn't enough. But it's everything. It's everything. And you have this is a tooth, a horse tooth.
Yes,
which
this is the molar from my very first horse that I manifested when I was 8 years old. Her name is Honey. And I had kept her after she passed on, and in the pasture. Fortunately, it was in my dad's pasture, so a couple of years later I went back and I harvested her skull and kept it with me for a long time, and I wound up, then it fell apart and I ended up with this tooth, and I thought, I want this tooth with me on this journey. So I had it made into a pendant, and then a friend gave me a wonderful medallion that had been blessed by the Pope, and so my good totem to take with me on the trip. But this is 66 years old, and it means a lot to me. I can understand some people might not understand that, but it's a part of an animal that I cherished.
Well, I guess we have really become clear that if people don't understand, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like Dr. Seuss, the people that mind don't matter and people that matter don't mind. And it really, as you know, the people that are really part of your spiritual family will celebrate whatever's important to you. Right. And learn from it.
It was difficult to tell my family members about this because I've done the crazy trip before and some other kind of things people would think were wild and crazy. And so I've been trying very hard for the past 20 years to be a normal person. And
I wonder what that is.
I realize now that this is what's normal for me. I mean, and I told somebody recently, this is the most authentic thing. Taking this cross-country horseback trip throughout Missouri is the most authentic thing I think I've ever done. Wow.
How exciting is this?
I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for helping me get to this point.
And Lisa, what a teacher you will be going off and doing this, because there's going to be somebody that's going to watch this journey and say, if she can do it, I can do it.
And it doesn't have to be a trip. I mean, it could be 30 days meditating. It could be designing quilt patterns. Whatever it is that you think is not worthy to do that really gives you joy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where we got to go.
There you go. You got to risk. You got to risk being happy.
Yeah.
That's it.
And and we deserve to be happy.
That's it. Well, Lisa, thanks for getting naked. Thanks for being more you. You really are such a gift, and it's good that you know it.
Thank you so much for everything you've done to help me get to this point, and I hope I can help others do the same.
Excellent. Well, namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.